Well, hey everybody. Or hey you. Um, yeah, I just was listening to a song of Iggy Pop, and it gave me an impression, and the words that came from that impression were, does anything we do make sense? Does anything we do make sense? I mean, music, language. These are tools, and they make sense. I mean, language and music make sense, but I think they make more sense classically, or through traditions, or not through traditions, but as they were when they were old, and then passed on correctly. At least they are legitimate. They make sense. I don't see us doing that. And then I changed the website, or where the web page, and I see Jonas Brothers. Does anything we do make sense? And I'm talking about now. I'm not talking about in general ever, but I'm talking about nowadays. Does anything we do make sense? I mean, beyond the reality of the total systemic corruption of not only the government, but the whole society, the societal organism, the organism that is the collective, the aggregate human being. Does anything we do make sense? Beyond the corruption of that total organism, does anything we do make sense? I mean, obviously it's not going to make any sense, or it's not going to fit, it's not going to seem right if the total corruption exists, and I believe it does, and there's more than enough proof of it that it does exist. I mean, the whole idea of bankrolling, it's historically documented very, very well. I mean, I didn't know that until relatively recently, but your parents, people that are relatively in the know, even slightly really know that the corruption of the whole system is total. But beyond that, I mean, look, I mean, the artists and the people that create are the ones that are supposed to be, meaningful. If not them, who are? Individually, yes, we all should be. But I mean, these people are supposed to be the spokespersons, the spokespeople, and they're talking nonsensical, I'm gonna go party Friday night type shit. I mean, is that really what we want? I mean, fuck, if that's the case, that's crazy. I mean, everything about us makes sense. Everything about us makes sense. But what we do with what we have usually makes no sense. And I'm not judging. I'm just observing, and then, making observations here. I have my own shit that I, as an ego, am incapable, as a superficial being. I am, and not in the sense of being vacuous or inane, but in the fact of this existence being more surface than the consciousness. Okay, as a superficial being in that context, I'm incapable of taking doing exactly what I want to. But I don't think, and I'm talking from ego to ego, I'm saying that I, as ego, want to do things, and I, as ego, am incapable of doing those things. And so, yeah, I mean, I have my own faults and shit like that, but the point is, at least I have a certain amount of control as far as creating stuff that has meaning, or that has some kind of impressible reasoning to it. I mean, the stuff of old was at least meaningful. I mean, with like classical music, like Beethoven and stuff like that, it's timeless, man. I don't know that our music, I think the timelessness of music is what makes it, and the universal truths of any poet or singer or whatever is what makes things important or meaningful. Does anything we do with what we have make sense now, presently, lately? I don't know. I don't think so. I would like I'd like to hear y'all's opinion on that, you know? Because it doesn't seem to me like... It seems to me like we're trying to avoid it. It seems to me like we've been trying to avoid that kind of thing, that the meaningful expression, or the meaningful... the searching for meaning, or the and I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about us, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about us. We've lost our way somewhere, and I have my thoughts on why, but I'm not going to get into that because this is probably late in the video. So yeah, I guess that's it. Take care.